Without a doubt, Destiny 2 is currently dying. It's taking damage, guys, and it's up to Bungie to drop that healing rift and bring it back to full health. Just pray that shit's not on cooldown because it's going to be catastrophic. Unpopular opinion, I really like Destiny 2. I still enjoy getting on day to day, streaming for you guys, with you guys, and I enjoy doing the raid, carrying people through, even when I don't get loot. After I've already done it on my 3 characters, I still like and enjoy the mechanic-heavy experience. I still enjoy PvP with friends, right? Under the right circumstances, because Crucible solo is probably one of the biggest turnoffs to date. And we're going to talk about everything that I can think of that is wrong with Destiny, that is holding it back from its true potential, which is a reason so many content creators, influencers, and people are jumping ship. And that's my problem right now. I tried to get on today to try the new challenge raid, the prestige raid, the hard raid, and I couldn't find people to play it with. There was like half a page of people online, of friends, compared to just a couple weeks ago where there were 2 or 3 pages on at any given time. And I asked my friends, I'm like, hey, why aren't you wanting to play this? I need people for the raid. And they give me one of 2 responses. One is, I just don't enjoy the game, there's no endgame, and they're just off playing Fortnite or something. Or 2, they're just always going to default and say, I'm just waiting for PC to come out. Which is pretty funny to me. That's a good joke, because though PC is a better experience, it feels smoother, it's not going to fix any of the problems that currently exist with it. The same thing that's hitting console, which is a much larger player base, can't survive under the current circumstances. What makes you think just a slightly better looking and feeling game is going to do? The same issues that console has will roll over to PC. Nothing will be any different. You'll think it's fun for a week or 2, and then by the time a month comes by and you hit the same exact wall/ceiling that you're currently at on console, it's going to hit you and you're going to be like, okay, well, I need something else to play, especially seeing as how PC players are used to RPGs. They're used to actual grind for MMOs and other experiences, your other ARPGs out there. They're not going to see a game like Destiny without an endgame and be okay with it. They are going to be less inclined as new players coming into the franchise, and they are going to be super turned off by this reality. Truth is, they actually went backwards, and Destiny 1 did not offer a legitimate endgame either. There was very limited things to collect, very few guns, very few variables on the guns, not like you would expect out of a true RPG. I mean, even games like The Division, which was a new property, had lots of stat variables and unique identities to these weapons, and the fact that Destiny doesn't offer this up, doesn't rectify this, doesn't improve on it, and actually goes backwards was a true laughable fact. And I was thinking, okay, we're going static rolls, every gun is identical. That's a bad thing. Then I heard about mods, and I'm like, okay, if this is done right, each weapon or piece of armor has 3 to 5 mod slots. That gives you opportunities here, customization, modification, so that you can have even duplicates of the same weapon, but with different mods on them. One could be more for a PvE experience. One could be one that you can use that has increased reload speed or better stability. And you can kind of pick and choose for whatever engagement or map you want. And if some of these mods were only obtainable during certain events, like patrols, or strikes, or raids, people would go in there even after the raid loot for the week is done. But if there were certain really good kinetic mods, insert whatever you want and looking for right here, people would do those over and over and over again. They would have reason and purpose to grind. This is painful to admit, but I don't know how that could have gotten worse from what the original Destiny offered us. This is a step backwards into a grave. This is a pretty hefty fall, because the issues that plagued the original Destiny endgame was that there were not enough stats and variables. There were not enough things different between weapons. Every exotic was the same, and people hated this, because as soon as I got another last word, I knew that was a shard. There was nothing to look for. There was no excitement, no new perks, no ways that my rate of fire could go from, between 10 different points in stats. This was a problem. You have an RPG, you need an RPG loot system. So, because of this, they always have their nightfalls and their raids behind a wall, because the moment they allow you to keep farming for raid gear and raid weapons, everybody's going to have the whole collection within the first couple days. And obviously have no interest in coming back and playing the game. But if they had an honest-to-God RPG loot system like Diablo, Borderlands, The Division as a new property, hint hint nudge nudge, any other RPG loot system in existence, they all work the same, but for some reason Destiny just went simple. And naturally it doesn't work out for them, and because everything is put behind a wall, and there's limited loot out there to collect, People are just extremely disappointed. People want things to aim for, things to climb for, things to collect. And those games do it right. You have things and you can get duplicates, but you always have room for upgrade. You may never hit the ceiling and get perfect gear. It's just unrealistic. I don't care how many hours you pump into those games. You'll never acquire perfect gear. There's always room for upgrade, which means there's always room to do more activities and keep playing. This game suffers from that problem. There's just a lack of things to aim for. The new gun and mod system just made that infinitely worse. So how do they fix this, and can they do it in time before people just completely drop faith and abandon the game? Now, they could go back to what they know. Just somehow add a few new perks in, have some flexibility, and go back to the old model where guns have different roles on them. This is something they know, they're familiar with, and is a possibility, though I consider this to be the worst option. It may be a placeholder thing, but I really don't want to see this to come back because, again, you're still missing a proper endgame. You don't have anything to min-max for, nothing to climb, nothing to grind for. Yes, there's a bit more excitement when you get a legendary because maybe you get a little bit better of a roll, but it's not enough for you to be like, because within a few weeks you're going to have the top tier of whatever you're looking for that is current meta. So it's still not enough to keep you satisfied long term. This is a possibility, though. What is the best move they can make, in my opinion, is by modifying the mod system. Opening up all pieces of armor and weapons to 3 to 5 mod slots, introduce a lot of new mods that work with recoil. Again, avoid things like damage and rate of fire because those can be a little rough, but they can add in a handful of other things. Work with things with reduction of flinch, recoil, stability, reload speed, and you can customize and pick and choose. Plugging those into the right activities could give people a drive to try a bunch of different things. Nobody plays strikes anymore. Nobody dicks around with patrols beyond the initial light leveling experience. And if there were unique things and mods exclusive to those things, people would play them. People miss strikes having strike exclusive loot. Hell, we don't even have a choice on what game types to play in Crucible anymore. You have quick play and competitive. I can't choose control or supremacy or clash. This is crazy. You have dumbed down the experience. You're going backwards. You're making things simpler, but not in a good way. Simple doesn't work in RPGs. You need to have an expansive universe with lots of things to collect and aim for. That is what an RPG is. This is honest feedback from a person that is passionate about this franchise. I still enjoy the game, but it is just a matter of time until I get bored with nothing else to do. I'm enjoying the activities for now, but repetition has its limits. Sooner or later, I'm going to be looking for some new game pussy. And that's exactly what is going to happen. And I feel like they're oblivious to what the community wants. There's never been a legitimate line of communication. I don't feel like the community managers do a good job bridging the gap between community and developers. I feel like they only look at the numbers, they don't listen to feedback. They are not good at absorbing this information. They just look at stats and they just see because this gun's used a lot, it needs to be OP, or it's not used a lot and it's underpowered. And they don't understand the human mechanic involved in making these decisions. And you see this. I feel like an in-game is not realistic to come anytime in the next few months. And I'm going to quote from the Bungie website. My challenge to every Guardian is to look at the human element in Destiny 2 to fuel your appetite for ultimate replayability. The ultimate loot is the friendships that can grow out of a game like this. There will be more gear to add to your character. The rewards that I'm talking about are the people in the community that thrives in this game. If you let them, they'll make your hobby as a light-dealing hero on a Starside campaign for glory even better. So let's see if I'm picking up what you're laying down. The replayability of Destiny. The endgame is up to the community? It's somehow our responsibility to magically create, with the excitement of friendship, a proper extended experience. And friendships gotta be the fuel for why we come back and play your game over. So what's stopping us from going over to Fortnite or Warframe or any other of your direct competitions and, you know, building friendships over there where an actual endgame exists? Oh wait, that's what's happening. This community is awesome. Like, the influencers, the streamers, they are the ones single-handedly that kept Destiny 1 alive through so many issues, so much turbulence. And now, after you've had time to work on these things, you think they're going to keep your game afloat again? That pressure and that weight is thrown back onto their shoulders? I don't think that's fair to ask of your community or to expect. I think that's disrespectful to the community, to be completely honest. But either way, this comment right here is pretty much an admission that they have no plan of an endgame, though. This is what I took away from it. This is scary. If he doesn't say, yeah, we have endgame, we're working on it, we're going to be doing this and that, And their lack of transparency shows. They never tell us what they're going to do. They never say, hey, we're working on this, we're fixing this, we're in the process of doing this. It's very limited, and when they give us anything, it's just a brief, generic comment that always starts off with, we hear what you're saying, Guardians, we're listening. We're going to fix the things. But what things, Bungie? The things. They don't take feedback. They honestly don't. For months and months and months, we had broken metas and so many issues. And how can we honestly expect them to fix this? They haven't said that these are problems and we're working on them. We don't know what's going on. We don't have a roadmap. We don't have a line of communication. And this is what needs to change with this game. I love the game. Like I said, I'm going to keep playing the game. I'm going to keep streaming the game. I'm going to keep making videos on the game because I like the game. But I know 90% of my friends have moved on because they don't like the game. And that hurts me because I want them to play with me. So bad. So, this is kind of a scary situation that Destiny is in. It's a very critical situation because if they can't fix the endgame and they can't give reason for people to come back and play, it's going to die. PC's not going to save this. It's going to be fun for approximately a month. And when everybody hits that wall, they're going to get in the same exact position that console players are currently in, and they're going to move on to something else. They're going to go off to Warframe or Fortnite or insert whatever is popular at the time. And Destiny's just going to get forgotten. People are going to come back for the DLC. Hell, I couldn't find people to play with on the hard raid. The first hard raid in Destiny 2 today. I could not find people. I spent an hour trying to get a full grade group. I found 2 people total. When 2 weeks ago, I had 20, 30 people fighting at it. Like, I want in. Can I get next one? Dibs on the next one. And that's just how much it's declined in just a few weeks. It's in a very bad place. And I want to see it get better. I only make this video because I want you guys to get out there, voice your opinions, and try to be heard. I know they don't do a good job at listening. They say they do, but they don't. I don't believe them not one bit. And to prove it to us, they need to start being more transparent. We need to know what's going on. We have to be hopeful instead of just being drug along like we were for year 2 and 3. We need to know what the hell's going on so that we know we're not investing our time, our patience, and our friendships in your franchise for no damn reason. But that's my piece, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you want to stay tuned. If you are still one of the few that are interested in Destiny 2 content, I'm going to keep pumping it out. I'm going to keep live streaming. But for now, I'm going to go play some Crucible and get Last Hope to death 82 times in a row. I will see you guys around.